personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable, True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so it's another installment in our prospect review video series. You know, these are always fun to do because I like to go back and see how these videos age over time, and it's fun to talk about fighters, the future stars of boxing before they actually hit the big time. So it's always a lot of fun. And in this video, we're going to speak about a fighter who really has caught my eye. You know, he's been fighting on a lot of different cards over the last couple months. He's been very active, fighting on different, platforms. Been on DAZN, fought on ESPN recently. And that's none other than Giovanni Marquez. Yes, that Giovanni Marquez, the son of the legend, the son of the great fighter. You know, the man that beat Mark Too Sharp Johnson, Raul Marquez. He's that man's son. So he comes from good stock. He comes from a good lineage, and let's talk about him. So Giovanni Marquez, as it stands right now, he's 7-0 with 5 knockouts in the professional ranks. Still very early in his career. He hasn't boxed like a ton of rounds. He's only boxed like 21 rounds. But someone that I think is worth paying attention to. When you look at him as an amateur, he was a national Golden Gloves champion, which when you talk about boxing in the USA at the amateur level, that's the best thing you could win is a national Golden Gloves, belt, or just become a national Golden Gloves champion, because it doesn't just mean you're the best fighter from your city or your state or even your region. You're the best fighter in your weight class, the whole country. And I know USA amateur boxing isn't what it was 20, 30 years ago, judging by our Olympic performances or lack thereof, but it's still a big country, and we still got a lot of talent. So whenever you can become the best guy in the whole country in your weight class, it said a lot about you and your talent, right? And as far as his gym experience, when you look at the guys he's been getting sparring with, is some names, notable names, top shelf names, the kind of names that if you're boxing these guys regularly, you can't do nothing but improve. And those names are guys that you guys know, which is O'Shaquie Foster. He sparred with him, been in camp with him, been in camp with Shakur Stevenson, and also sparred with Devin Haney as well. So when you spar them kind of fighters, them world championship caliber fighters like those guys, all three of those guys have in common that they are all really good at controlling distance, and that's what sparring them I feel would do for a fighter. Sparring guys like that, fighters like that, is gonna make your awareness in the ring better. It's gonna make your sense of punching range better. You'll know your punch range a lot more by fighting those guys, because those are all fighters that make their living, make their bones, make their bread in the sport controlling distance, and it's how it's a big part of why all those guys have become world champions. So that's always great to see a young fighter like him working with those guys, right? And it actually explains why he fights the way he fights, because I would say the best attribute of his style is, from the little bit I've had a chance to watch of Giovanni Marquez, is the fact that he has uncanny ability to punch from the oddest of angles. And what I mean by that is he does things that, a lot of fighters couldn't get away with. Sometimes he looks like he's throwing his uppercuts from a bit too far out. Sometimes he may square up in the middle of a combination, but, he makes it work for him. And, many years ago, when I used to spend a lot of time around the heavyweight factory, I used to pick the brain of Evander Holyfield a lot. And the real deal, he told me a long time ago, he said, Brendan, you got to fight the fight that works for you. So what works for Giovanni Marquez won't work for the majority of fighters that put on boxing gloves. And so he's got a really unique style that he makes work for him. And he's able to punch from really odd angles. And he's got good quickness. And he covers a lot of ground when he throws punches. And on top of that, most importantly, I think he's a very explosive puncher as well, which makes that attribute even greater. Because if you can punch from odd angles, it's one thing. It's gonna frustrate your opponent. But if you can punch from odd angles and you got some thump, if you got some punch power behind it, that's just obviously an added bonus, right? So you have that. As it stands right now, he still remains an unsigned prospect. He's a 140-pound prospect. I mean, he did turn pro at welterweight, right? Or like in between welterweight and 140, but I think judging by his weight, the last 3 fights, he's been 141 and a quarter, 141, and then 140 and a half. So he looks like he's gonna be a 140 pounder, and right now he's just gonna fight at these kind of weights because they're non-title fights. But eventually, when he steps up, when he starts fighting ranked guys, he's got to be a 140 pounder. That's where he wants to fight. So, look, he's still young. He's 22 years old. He's someone that I think, you know, probably might mature and get a little bit bigger. And when he does fill out, I could see him down the road maybe becoming a welterweight. And I feel like with that possibility, there is marketability with Giovanni Marquez. There's a chance for him to really be groomed into a star of the sport. You know, obviously he still has to get signed, but he's got a great style. He really stands out to me, and that's hard for me because I watch a lot of boxing. I watch a lot of different cards, and there's a lot of fighters in boxing that I forget about. Like, I forget about them and don't even think about them until I see them fight again, right? But he stood out to me. So that's a good sign for him. And on top of that, I think there's marketability there also because he's got a fan-friendly style. He's fun to watch. His dad was a great fighter, so there's that whole son of a legend dynamic. And then also, on top of that, he's Mexican-American from Houston. So it's very easy to sell in boxing. Mexican-Americans who can punch, you know, in the sport, in a division like, you know, 140, 147. So I definitely think there's potential with the kid, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops in the pros. But that's my little summary of Giovanni Marquez. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below if you have anything to add about Giovanni Marquez. And yeah, like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.